How does a strong, healthy man end up with injuries to his face, cuts on his wrists, and drowned in shallow water?
I'm going to tell him everything. You watch yourself, Jason.
Family man Jason Dark was the life and soul of the party.
Loved life and loved everybody.
Fantastic smile.
Fantastic son.
In 2002, Jason's employers accused him of fraud.
They were alleging some $100,000 fraud.
This really can't be right.
No.
Soon after, 32-year-old Jason drowned in the Waikato River.
I just miss him every day.
It's indescribable, really.
For police, it was an open and shut case.
Jason committed suicide.
But Jason's family suspect something more sinister took place.
What are you doing here?
We believe there was foul play.
He has cut his wrists.
Where is that knife?
The post-mortem says drowning.
The water was so shallow.
So foul play was ruled out.
There may have been corporate murder.
So many things don't add up.
I really just want the truth.
How much money do you spend?
Desperate for new leads and new avenues of investigation, Jason's family has turned to Sensing Murder for help.
What happened on that day, why he was in the river, why he had cuts on his wrists.
This is really our last chance.
Tonight, two psychics will attempt to unravel the mystery of Jason's death.
It's a secret.
Like I don't want to do it.
Real sharp pain.
Did Jason really take his own life?
It's a lot of money. I don't want to hurt my family.
Or will the psychics sense murder?
I'm asking if anyone would benefit from his death. This person's really, really angry. It seems to be so angry.
Jason Dark was born and raised in Auckland.
He was a very fun-loving little guy, always on the go. The days just weren't long enough with Jason.
He was my older brother by 3 years. We always were doing stuff together and quite protective, very caring. And yeah, I was kind of the envy of a lot of my friends because I had one of those brothers who, you know, always included me.
Very sporty. He'd have a go at anything, and he was quite good at a lot of things. Rugby was his passion, very keen on fishing. He played cricket, he played squash.
Jason studied horticulture at Massey University in Palmerston North. At his university hostel, he met Liz.
He was good looking and he was very good with his words and knew what to say and when to say it. I was on the 3rd floor of our hostel. I was out at a lecture one day and I came back to find flowers on my pillow. The door was locked, so he had climbed up the 3 stories and climbed through the window and put them on the bed, so I thought that was pretty romantic.
After graduating, Jason moved close to his parents in Pukekohe, a rural service town 50 kilometres south of Auckland City. Liz eventually joined him and they married in 1996. 2 years later, Olivia was born, followed by Abigail.
He was a great dad. He really was a great dad. Loved doing things with the girls and taking them out. And if he went to a rugby match, he'd take the girls with him. And everywhere he went, the girls went.
Gloated all the time about the latest thing that Olivia had done and the latest thing that Abby had done.
Very proud. He definitely liked to show off his girls.
Even when he started his own family, Jason remained close to his parents and sister.
Family was key to him.
Any problems, anything like that, we'd share them with each other. So he was very close to us.
Fantastic smile, just would light up a room. And he was always very loving and caring, and I really appreciated that in a brother.
Fantastic son, yeah. He was, yeah, I was very, very proud of Jason.
Jason also made time for his many friends and enjoyed a busy social life.
He had a sense of humour all of his own.
Thank you very much for doing the job today. First of all, thanks for having a shower. That's what we've got to do today.
Very dry wit.
He was just so happy and, yeah, loved life and loved everybody.
Just one of those guys you can't help but like. Didn't necessarily want to be the centre of attention, but he was a really nice guy.
He was very passionate about rugby, loved the camaraderie of the team that sport gave him.
Played lock and he had a cauliflower ear, as most locks do, and he was quite proud of that.
He was striving to get his 100th game, to get his second blazer. Although he had a sensitive side to him, he was very loving and all the rest, but he was a good old Kiwi bloke.
Since 1994, Jason had worked for the horticultural supplies company FruitFed in Pukekohe.
He started as a field representative and then moved on to being a branch manager.
He had a lot of growers as clients who grew different types of vegetables, different types of crops that needed different types of fertilisers and sprays and irrigation systems.
That should be in the country in the next couple of weeks.
Jason had around 50 clients. He was devoted to his job and often went beyond the call of duty to help them.
They would ring up during the weekend, late at night, early in the morning. They even rang up to find out what the weather was doing.
Yep, I can be there.
He was very proud of what he did. He put in 100% effort. He was there for the company 24/7.
He said, if I'm not there for them at the drop of a hat, they're going to go somewhere else.
He used to mention to me frequently that his sales budget had been increased again, so he had a new target to reach, which he'd worked very hard on and achieve it.
He was on a salary. He never received a bonus. He had monthly budgets that he had to stick to, and they were always going up and up.
He'd say, you know, they've put it up again and, it's going to be hard, Dad.
By 2002, Jason had been Pukekohe branch manager for 2 years. He was a rising star in the company and had dramatically increased the turnover. But Jason did find management stressful.
He was a very good salesman. He was very good at what he did. But the paperwork, I guess, wasn't the best part of him. A lot of pressure on him, really.
In April 2002, the company introduced a new computer system.
He had frustrations with the computer system, frustrations with, audits that things weren't adding up, and he just wasn't too sure why they weren't adding up and what he was to do about that.
He said to me, they had an audit and they're asking me these questions. I have explained to them, he said, I can't work out what they're doing.
He was having a little bit of a problem with some of their accounting things, but it wasn't a big deal.
But the company decided it was a big deal. FruitFed claimed that an audit had revealed extreme anomalies in stock and invoicing procedures, resulting in at least $187,000 worth of stock not accounted for. In late November 2002, Jason was suspended from work.
I had no idea he was suspended. He didn't let on at all.
He told us that he had some extra leave to take and that he was going to use up that.
He wasn't stressed, he was so happy, in fact, that I actually said to him, I wish you could go on holiday more often because you're just so relaxed and happy.
I don't think he thought it was a real problem. It was just something that needed to be sorted out.
They were issues that he thought he could overcome and just then, move on with his role.
He wouldn't like me to worry. He didn't actually tell me a lot of things he worried about. If there was any sort of stress, he would look after it.
Jason was ordered to attend a meeting at head office to respond to the allegations. He was warned that he could be fired. The meeting was scheduled for December the 2nd, 2002.
He got up for work as normal. He said goodbye to us as he normally does. I remember him saying to Abby, bye-bye, Abba.
Bye-bye, Abba.
She said, bye-bye, Dada. Just said goodbye to Olivia, gave me a kiss goodbye, and I said, I'll see you tonight. And he said, yep, I'm going to this meeting.
I've just got to go to that meeting and I'll see you tonight.
At around 11 a.m, Jason visited his mother, Carol, who has since passed away.
He mentioned to her that he had a meeting to go to, but he just had a few things to sort out before that.
He felt that the company were trying to shaft him in some way.
I mean, there's a bit of backstabbing going on and stuff.
He felt that there was a bit of backstabbing going on and he just needed to sort it out before he got to the meeting.
Jason called his boss to postpone the 1 o'clock meeting until 3 o'clock. Just before 3, he left a message on Liz's mobile.
It was jovial, just normal self.
Oh, hi, love. Look, it's Jason here.
He was on his way there now, and he should be home sort of after 5, and he'll give me a ring when he's on his way home.
Okay, bye.
No stress, no nothing. He had no reason to think there was anything wrong.
But Jason didn't make it to the meeting. At 6 p.m, his wife Liz answered a knock on the door.
And there's 2 men standing there.
Is Jason home, please?
The national manager was there with another guy who turns out to be a private detective. And they passed me a letter and they said this isn't good news.
The letter warned Jason that he would be fired. Liz immediately called Jason's parents.
Hi Brian, it's Liz here.
They were alleging some $100,000 fraud, and I think, goodness me.
By 7 o'clock, Jason still hadn't returned home.
We realised that something was amiss, so immediately started out looking for him.
and of course no one could find him.
And then eventually I said, well, I think we should go and report him missing to the police.
Next, police join the hunt for Jason and make a shocking discovery.
I, for a split second, thought it was okay because she said they found him.
He had lacerations on both wrists.
On the 2nd of December 2002, horticultural supplies manager Jason Dark failed to come home to his family. Upon hearing that his son was missing and about to be fired for alleged fraud, Brian Dark informed the police.
Brian came in at 11 o'clock. While he was still with police, there was a phone call made. That was 11:40 that night, and saying that the ute had been found.
Jason's ute was abandoned on a secluded farm block in Rangariri near Huntly, right next to the Waikato River.
There is a dirt track from the road into where the ute was. It's fairly isolated, it's very rural. The ute was unlocked and the keys were in the ignition.
There was no sign of Jason, but police soon made a disturbing discovery in front of the ute.
There was some blood on the grass. A little further across and towards the tree was more blood and a bigger pool of blood.
The police came to the house and they told me there was 2 patches of blood, and it didn't look good.
I assumed perhaps he'd been beaten up and I just, feared for his safety.
But to the distress of Jason's family, police called off the search.
We're going to call it off now and return to the station.
It got too dark, it got too dangerous and too late.
We just basically waited and waited for the sun to come up.
It was the longest night ever. It was awful.
At 8 a.m, Jason's family and friends gathered at Huntly Police Station. They were surprised to find a meeting in progress with a fruit fed representative.
Someone from the company was already there, filling them in on the details of this alleged fraud.
I was very agitated because for me I was like, my brother's out there somewhere, they need to go and find him.
I think they assumed that this person that was missing had probably committed suicide because of the allegations from the company.
But it was 3 more hours before the police helicopter found Jason's body. It was floating in the river, 50 metres from where his ute was parked.
He's fairly close to shore. The edge of the Waikato River there is very swampish. He wasn't submerged deeply, but there is a smallish log over the top.
Probably a father's worst dread. That sort of thing doesn't happen to fathers. It's meant to happen to the son about the father. And I was just stunned, to be quite honest. I just couldn't believe it.
I was just in complete shock, basically, to be told that, and I just thought, this really can't be right.
I, for a split second, thought it was okay because she said they found him, and but then it was they'd found his body, not him. So that was awful. Just
He had lacerations on both wrists, multiple cuts on them, some deep and some quite narrow. While every indication was it was a suicide, you're still looking to make sure that we haven't overlooked anything, including foul play. There was nothing in the scene and there was nothing in the ute that caused us any suspicion of foul play, and there was no suicide note found.
The post-mortem revealed that Jason did not die from blood loss. He actually drowned.
The evidence showed us that the man had tried to commit suicide, and the post-mortem says drowning. So foul play was ruled out.
The coroner ruled that Jason died by drowning, not suicide. However, the police believe that Jason intended to take his own life.
The whole background to Jason indicates suicide. He has planned his suicide.
Police discovered that earlier on the day he died, Jason had inquired whether the Rangariri site would be vacant.
He's clearing the way for himself. He's parked there, he's thought about it, and he's probably agonised over it. He has cut his wrists, he's bled, he's moved off, possibly sat down. He's then staggered, walked to the river, and whether he's collapsed or fainted, we'll never know. He has then slipped in the river and drowned.
But Jason's family is adamant that he would not have committed suicide.
I didn't believe then. I found it very, very strange, and I still don't believe it.
I know it's a cliche, but he was just the last person on the face of this earth to do that.
The police didn't talk to me or my mum and dad or Liz about what type of person Jason was, what was going on at work. There was just no follow-up at all.
They see a 32-year-old male in the Waikato River with slashes on his wrists, drowned and possibly defrauded the company. We will put it as suicide and we don't really need to look into it.
But I wasn't very happy with that at all.
Jason's family has always believed that he was murdered because of the injuries they say they saw on his body.
He had a very bad injury to one eye and an obvious injury to the side of his head.
Jason had bruises on his face, and police reports state that his eyeball had been dislodged.
The injury to the eye being so bad that when we saw Jason laid it out in his coffin, they put a patch over his eye.
I don't know how they were caused. It's possible when he has entered the river that he's fallen on a log, he's tripped. I don't know.
And I just sort of don't really know how a big strapping lad who's strong and 6'3" or 4" could get injuries like that by falling on a branch.
It looked more to me like he'd been bashed up and ended up in the river.
It's a realistic possibility that someone held his head down, especially given the depth of that water.
There was no other injuries that indicate scuffles, fights, nothing at all.
Also troubling Jason's family is the fact that the knife Jason supposedly used to cut his wrists has never been found.
Where is that knife? Or was it not Jason's? Did Jason not have a knife?
Jason could have thrown it metres away and we just didn't quite get far enough, or he could have dropped it or thrown it in the river. I don't know.
For police, footprints found at the scene were compelling evidence that Jason acted alone.
There was one set of footprints leading into the river, and there's a small muddy area that shows a set of footprints walking in and nothing out.
Did they compare those footprints with Jason's boots?
One footprint in particular is very clearly the same as the boots that he had on.
Is there anyone else got boots like that?
There's no plaster cast taken. It's a visual ID.
The photograph I saw was just a narrow picture of footprints. What was over there or what was over there, I don't know.
By the time Jason's body was found, a total of 18 people had been scouring the riverbanks trying to find him and searching for clues.
I accept that when we finally came to having a look in the daylight, people had been searching for 2 hours and there was disturbance and the scene was not pristine. So I accept, yes, our scene was disturbed and contaminated.
At the coroner's inquest, the company claimed that Jason had misappropriated $1.8 million worth of funds, stock and equipment. The Serious Fraud Office investigated and found evidence to suggest that Jason had misappropriated money and property, but only to the sum of $18,000. They found no evidence whatsoever of $1 million fraud.
There's just no way he would give up everything for something that he didn't do.
We never received any fraud complaint, so there was no police investigation.
The CEO came to visit Carol and I, and he suggested there may have been corporate murder.
So many things don't add up. I think he was threatened, whether it be something to do in the business or whether growers or something around that.
And I think if people expected him to do something bad and follow along with some sort of plot, he would have stood up to them.
If he was going to blow the whistle on them, then he needed to be taken out of the equation.
Perhaps to him we were threatened as well, that his family was going to be harmed if he didn't do what he was supposed to do or not do.
I think Jason's death is incredibly sad, but to try and make it someone else's fault doesn't make it any less tragic. It's always going to be tragic, but it wasn't foul play.
Jason's family begged police to reopen the case and investigate it as a potential homicide. But without new leads, the police refused.
In today's society, how much money do you spend? How far do you go in investigating something? You can always do more, go an extra step, but there's always got to be a cut-off point. sadly. But yeah, there always has to be.
We believe there was foul play. The coroner says it was accidental. That just shows me that this isn't an easy case. It's not straightforward, and it's not as simple as what the police thought it was.
The passing of time has done little to ease the pain felt by Jason's family. They all moved away from Pukekohe after Jason died.
We just didn't feel comfortable living there, knowing that, you know, the truth was out there somewhere.
There was just too many memories in Pukekohe. We'd drive out the drive down the road and see a ute coming past, and I'd split second think, there's Dad. The girls would say, there's Dad. I wish that was Dad. Even now they ask, why can't he come back?
There's no closure when you don't know the real truth.
We really need to know what happened that day.
I really just want the truth, and I want everybody to know the truth.
I'd miss Jason every day. I just wish that he wasn't taken from me. If it can come out what actually happened, and then I can understand why he's not here and tell the girls, then that'll be so much better than what we've got at the moment.
Next, to try and search for answers, 2 psychics will attempt to contact the spirit of Jason.
My little darling, my little darling. He could not stand lies.
While the police believe that Jason Dark committed suicide, his family are convinced that he was murdered. Now 2 psychics will attempt to contact the spirit of Jason to see if they can unravel the mystery.
I'm asking what happened here. Did you have any enemies?
A New Zealand and an Australian psychic have been selected. 75 psychics from across New Zealand were tested. A little-known solved murder was chosen for the testing procedure. Presented with only a photograph of the victim, the psychics were asked to produce details of the crime, the location and the killer. Of the 75 psychics tested, only 3 were able to describe intimate details of the test case. One of these New Zealand psychics, Sue Nicholson, has been chosen to investigate Jason's death. Sue works full-time as a spiritual medium. She holds live shows and workshops to teach others how to develop their psychic ability and has a regular slot on daytime TV.
You have to put your own logical mind out of it because you think, that sounds so stupid, but then again, that's not my journey for me to understand what they're talking about. It's for me to deliver it as I hear, see and feel it.
100 Australian psychics were also tested. One of these, Deb Webber, will assist in the Jason Dark inquiry. Deb tours Australia and New Zealand with a live psychic show, connecting people with loved ones who have passed over. She is also a magazine columnist.
No one's actually been able to answer my question, how do we do this? And maybe there's some answers that we're just never going to find until we are part of that one consciousness again.
Under sensing murder rules, the psychics have not been told any details of the case or the people involved. They do not know the location of the case in advance and are only told their destination at the airport. Each psychic is filmed on a different day. They are kept under constant supervision to prevent them researching the case. Correct statements can be, but are not always, confirmed during the readings.
Ideally, I'd love to know just what happened to him, why he died, who's responsible.
And I'm open if there's anything new and evidential. And obviously, yeah, we'll look at that, but yeah, in my heart, I still believe that Jason committed suicide.
This is really our last chance to find out what did happen to Jason on that day.
Sue flies from Wellington to Hamilton, where she begins her reading at the Novotel Tainui Hotel, 40 minutes drive from where Jason died. Sue is offered a photograph of Jason to help her connect with his spirit, but chooses to keep it face down.
Now I'm getting the mail comes through here and he's standing here. It's quite broad. I want to hold my chest out like that. He's laughing at me.
On a different day, Deb flies from Brisbane to Hamilton. She is also offered a photo of Jason. Like Sue, she chooses not to look at it.
Feels like a male energy to me, but I still get tears of a female aspect. I feel like I might have a wife, and the wife's still here. His wife is absolutely incredibly beautiful, I think. Beautiful natured woman. So in love. Have this sense of unity between them, like they were best friends, you know, lovers, husband and wife. and just try and live the best life they possibly could. And it's beautiful. It really is beautiful.
I feel very family orientated with him.
It's not a big family. It's a small family.
Smaller one and another one.
So he must have children. Probably 2.
I get a female daughter.
My little darling, my little darling.
He said to me, I got 2 girls.
Got 2 daughters.
Loved his children, very family orientated.
Jason adored his 2 young daughters, who were preschoolers when he died.
When I pick up the family and the children, I get happiness.
It's done by his family. It's very, very strong.
It wasn't a negative energy in the house. It's surrounding with happiness and cherished energy. That's the word I got, was cherished.
The psychics have picked up on Jason's devotion to his family. Now they try to form a clearer picture of him.
Caucasian, light skin.
You got hazel eyes. Yep, got hazel eyes.
I keep seeing dark hair.
I am getting darker hair. I feel he's taller. He's taller because I want to go whoop.
Going up in my 30s with age group.
32, 33. 32.
I project my energy to around about 32.
Jason was 32 when he died.
But I feel young, I feel vibrant, I'm energetic.
You have no idea how I might be waiting for this opportunity.
He was a talker, he was a good communicator and could talk about anything.
I keep getting a lot of talking.
Quite a popular person.
Don't find any enemies.
When he came into the room, he would lift the room up. It's nice personality. I feel that he got on with a lot of people.
Very friendly, very forthcoming. It's like not ashamed or anything, nothing to hide.
Couldn't stand deceit. He couldn't stand lies of any sort.
I think he was brought up quite well, you know, and with morals, respect.
And that's how he's brought up, like, you need to respect others. Real, genuine person.
I don't think he's a big reader or anything like that in the house. It's more outside, outdoor activities.
Very much outdoor person.
He was quite healthy.
I feel that he liked to keep fit and active.
He was active, like he would do things. I'm not getting a lazy sit around energy.
I don't see him like a weakling or anything. I'm just feeling his energy, quite strong energy.
It's just the energy going through my body. Active, busy.
I want to cover my ears up. They're big. I feel I want to bend down and put my shoulder in, or rugby, or... He's probably got funny ears through rugby, I don't know, but funny ears.
Jason was proud of his cauliflower ears, which he got through playing rugby. Now the psychics ask the spirit of Jason to spell out his name.
I get initial J.
Keep getting S.
He's just saying to me, come on, you've got to work on it. You've got to work at it.
There's an N. It's a little N. A little A.
J. Give me a bit more.
Circle. I'm getting a circle.
Just show me.
O's before the N.
I feel like you could shorten it as well. Well, there was a nickname.
The A's the second letter. I got S earlier.
You can't spell.
I can spell. It's you that's... You just said to me you can't spell. I can spell. It's you that you're not spelling it properly. You're just saving me on. J something E.
J.
Jason.
J. Jason. I'm going to turn the photo over, so we'll just flip it over. Hello, Jason.
Sue also decides to look at Jason's photo.
I'm trying to get his work.
Okay, bring it out.
I do feel that he's a skilled person.
I feel as though he was a good provider for the family. And that's work. There's a lot of work coming in on top of this. He's got rain coming down on me and sunshine, so I think he's trying to indicate working outside.
He was out and about a lot.
There's a building coming up where he worked, but I don't know why I'm outside, so I'm probably going both, in and out.
I see him come in and out of that place.
Because I feel the building's here, but I'm going different places.
Loading and docking and loading.
I feel like I'm leaving this place with this truck full, But I seem to be dropping them off because when I come back, it's empty. I think I'm delivering something.
Got to get your hands dirty, you said.
Get a lot of dirt for some reason. I keep getting lots of land and houses and farms. It's got something to do with the farm side of it.
Grain. I don't know if it's grain.
Keep showing me the land itself. So I'm delivering something that goes in the earth because I'm digging it and it goes in, or, you know, both in or out, but some of this stuff must go in the soil.
Not just grain, it's powder as well, or I feel powder in my hands.
It's got something to do with growth, with the earth, plants growing.
Pesticides.
Fertilisers or poisons. Fertilisers.
Something to do with sprays, because he's showing me liquid, weed killer or pesticides, land sprays.
The words I'm getting is, I help grow.
The crops.
The crops?
Jason did visit farms delivering horticultural products like fertiliser, pesticides and sprays.
It was a pressurised job.
But that should be in the next couple of weeks.
What's he got a clipboard in his hand for now?
It's the Miser Granuflow.
He's going, here you go, look. It's like on a clipboard.
He's got quite a high position.
Manager.
Merchandiser
manager.
But I still feel there's people higher than him, or there's like the boss still.
But I keep seeing these orders, have to be out, orders.
But farmers.
Growers.
Something about farmers.
He was a rep for the company, but he'd go into the distribution centre and put the orders in to the office. He had a really good personality to do that, as in a representative and to be a rep.
It's a really cherished part in himself that he did the right thing for the company.
And he was very fair.
As a senior sales rep and manager of FruitFed's Pukekohe branch, Jason was responsible for taking orders from and supplying to local growers.
Hello, Jason speaking.
He's talking to me about problems at work, and he said, I'd had it with that place.
I'll have a look this afternoon for you.
Well, there's definitely somebody there that didn't like him.
Even though I get this lively energy, I also get like a very heavy stress feeling on top as well.
The pressure on him was to make targets. He used to worry about that because he's really conscientious.
He would worry about things if it wasn't going right for him.
He had a target to make, and sometimes it was bloody ridiculous, he said.
That I feel sometimes he got himself overloaded with that feeling that he had to do everything right.
But he found it very hard.
So we've got this little bit of stress happening. Something about can't be perfect all the time.
Next, the psychics delve deeper into Jason's work stress as they unravel the events leading up to his mysterious death.
I just feel like I don't want to do this.
He just said he could be a nasty bastard.
On the day that he died, horticultural supplies manager Jason Dark was about to discover if he would be fired. Was the threat of being charged with fraud enough to drive him to take his own life? The psychics will attempt to find out.
Doesn't feel like it's very long since this happened for some reason. So I'm coming into the years 2000 and 2002, because I keep getting two. It's definitely taken me 2002. I'm just trying to get his month later in the year, December, because I've got Christmas around the corner. So I'm looking 2002, the month of December. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't feel far into December, probably the first week into December, so I'm looking sort of first, second, probably the 2nd of December of 2002.
Deb is correct. Jason drowned in the Waikato River on the 2nd of December 2002.
Hard time of the year for it to happen. At the same time, any part of the year would have been hard for him to, for his girls and his wife to lose him. because it was the exciting part of the year, you know.
It was a Monday, right, Monday there.
It was a Monday. Saw his wife and his girls on the morning.
And he was telling me he started off normal day.
I feel all right. I feel fine. I'm happy enough.
Bye-bye, Abba.
He's saying goodbye, and that's just a normal goodbye, like to his wife and children, because I'm getting a kiss. He's not on foot. He gets in a vehicle.
Talking to me about a car.
Utility type car. Could be a work car. Still looks white. Pulling out of the back of the driveway.
Jason did leave home in a white company ute.
Day off or something here.
Like he was planning to have that day off.
Jason was having the day off. He'd been suspended from work. His wife Liz didn't know.
He also had to go downtown. And I think that's what his wife knew.
Liz did know that Jason was supposed to attend an appointment at the company headquarters downtown.
Something changed about what time they were going to meet.
I can't make that 1 o'clock.
Wasn't it convenient for who?
My rep's not able to get there for that time.
For you?
A few things on his mind, what he needs to do.
Jason did call his bosses to postpone the appointment. He told his mother he had things to sort out first.
Yeah, this is Jace, yeah?
I've had a phone call.
He's talking to someone on the phone and I'm getting a meeting.
I feel like I'm going to go meet someone.
We have business to discuss.
And it must have something to do with work, because he keeps showing me the land again.
It's not like this person is a stranger.
But I feel like I'm having this meeting with this person at the farm.
It's to do with work, the work, and to do with what he was selling.
I know they used to deliver things to him.
You're not hearing this!
This anger of this other male.
Feels like a little bit of conflict going on.
I just feel arguing things, being underhanded.
The deliveries. Can't get that!
Arguing about deliveries?
Right.
Let's say it's not a let's go inside, discuss this and have a cup of tea. It's outside, don't get too close.
But it's the other person being underhanded. It's weird, but I feel like I want to do things under the table.
I'm not paying for that, Jason.
I don't think he likes paying the gentleman. I feel at the depot this was known about this place or this person.
They were talking about doing something where he would actually give this person a deal of not actually paying.
Things need to come out in the open.
He says, I know, it wasn't right.
You've got to sort it out, all right? Come on. I'm going to tell him everything.
Threatening them or something.
Who else knew about this meeting?
It's reflecting back into the depot.
The place where he works, there's someone there. It's like there's a link or a triangle. I'm getting a triangle.
We've got to sort it out. What do you mean?
I feel as though Jason was going out there to sort it out.
Jason wanted to talk to him and say, let's sort this out.
We've got to sort it out, all right? Things need to come out in the open.
Things need to come out in the open.
I know he'll be very careful. I don't want to...
This gentleman just seems to be so angry.
He's just said he could be a nasty bastard, this person.
The police are not aware of any arguments Jason had that day, but both psychics are clearly picking up a confrontation between Jason and a client.
Oh, fuck off, mate.
I know Jason ended up back in his car after this, and I feel as though it wasn't resolved.
Going in the car.
I'm seeing the vehicle leave the farm, and I feel like I'm driving miles.
What I'm getting is a rendezvous.
We'll see you then.
I feel like it's a secret.
Do you have to go to another farm? I feel like he went to another property. You keep saying to me, other property, another property.
I want to turn off the road.
Because he's turned me down a dirt road, and I'm heading down this dirt road.
It's like there's a lane. It's not a major road. There's no one around here. So this is quite secluded. I park my car and I want to park it where nobody's going to see us.
So like hidden behind trees.
Fields, this is fields.
But where the car is, I'm still getting fields, like paddocks, open land.
Did you know this place? He said he knew this place.
When I pull off the dirt road, I don't know why, but the word water comes in.
At the back of where he was, in that direction, is water.
There seems to be water.
Water.
Like a river.
He said it's a river. It's quite wide.
There's like a building, a shed.
Right, there's a building there?
I'm thinking pump station where I am, because I'm also hearing like a motor in my head.
And I'm getting this is where the meeting point is.
But there's a pump station next to the ute.
There is a pump shed next to where Jason's ute was parked. The psychics try to discover what happened there.
I'm seeing Jason get out the car.
But I'm getting out of the ute.
I'm seeing him walk.
Because I'm walking. Like get out and have a cigarette, calm down or something here.
A bit irritated now, a bit nervous with this meeting.
He's having a meeting or I don't know. This was set up for him to go to this place.
I'm waiting. I can hear a car coming up.
I just feel there's another person that saw him.
He's saying to me, I knew of him or had seen him.
What are you doing here?
I'm seeing Jason walk away and then him come from behind.
I feel like I've been hit.
And I go to his head very strongly.
I'm being hit over the head.
Blow to his head. First someone's hit me in the face.
There's Marcus cuts.
There's something on his face. I'm marking. His eye.
Something about a cut. I keep getting this cut.
And my vision's going. It's like my eyesight's going blurred.
Jason's eyeball was dislodged and his face was covered in blood. The police thought these injuries may have been caused by falling onto a log, but the psychics tell a different story.
There's blood coming down his nose.
Because I see blood.
I'm getting a weapon.
It's trying to show me something to do with the water, though.
I feel like I've been squashed to my chest.
I feel like he went in it. How did you end up in the water?
I feel like I've got these hands on my back. I do feel like somebody's pressing me down in the water. I'm like trying to fight for breath and all I'm getting is water in my lungs.
I keep getting this splashing, the sensation of it around me.
I feel like I'm shaking and all this, like the water's coming out my mouth. This person's quite strong. Putting his hands on him or holding him and pushing him down, like pushing the force on the back of my head. He's trying to stand up.
I can't breathe properly.
Oh, I feel like I'm drowning. So, oh, my lungs are filling up with water.
He drowned in the water because I'm getting a sense of water going down into my body.
He didn't kill himself. He didn't do that to himself, and he would never do that. And it's not an accident that he's fell in the water and he's drowned. There's a person involved.
The psychics have independently reached the same shocking conclusion, that Jason Dark was murdered. Next, the psychics travel to the river where Jason drowned and uncover more twists.
He wasn't dishonest like that.
And the boss somehow has got involved in it.
Jason Dark adored his family and loved life. When his body was found floating in the Waikato River in 2002, his family refused to believe the police verdict that he'd committed suicide. The Sensing Murder psychics have confirmed the worst fears of Jason's family.
I do feel like somebody's pressing me down in the water.
I feel like I've been hit.
There's a person involved.
On different days, the psychics leave Hamilton. Each is given a map of the Waikato region and challenged to locate where Jason died.
If I go down that way, I don't feel it. So I go up here. I feel funny when I go up this way.
I feel, from what he said in the room, what Jason gave me was head north towards Auckland, so I'm heading up, and I've got Huntley here, so I'm sort of around this area.
I want to follow up here. There's Huntley.
Huntley station keeps coming up, so sort of Huntley area.
Huntley Power Station is on the same road as the farm where Jason was found.
This river has something that keeps drawing me to the river. Stay in the Huntley area, but go towards the river.
This is a river. They're running that river.
What's that road there? Tequaki? T-E and then Q, I think it's Q, yeah, Q-H-A-K-I Road. That's the road that I want to go down.
Jason was found in the river off Teohaki Road. The secluded spot is 40 minutes drive away. On the journey there, the psychics tune back into Jason's work problems.
I've got a client, but he's causing problems.
You already are part of it. I'm going to tell him everything.
You know, Jason doesn't want to lose where he is or what he's got, so standing up for his rights, I suppose.
He was trying to sort things out about his work because he was trying to sort it out and try and come with some answers.
I know what's going on.
It just seems to be very deep for something that's sort of work-related. Oh, money's got something to do with it.
I'm not paying for that, Jason.
It's probably a fair bit of money. Thousands, probably.
Fuck off, mate. You be very careful.
Someone or work or something knew that was going on.
He started to hate going to work.
Jason doesn't feel that the complaints against him were just deserved, that he did anything too majorly wrong, you know, that he would have to worry about so much.
He wasn't dishonest like that.
I don't think he stole anything.
We got a problem. What did he say he was going to do?
And people know that he had an argument. It's known.
We've just got to sort it.
And the boss somehow has got involved in it. But whatever happened, it's jeopardised his place in the company. I was actually worried about my position at work.
On the day that Jason died, he was due to find out if he'd be fired over the alleged fraud. The psychics are now on Teohaki Road. They are challenged to locate the exact spot where Jason drowned.
I've got to turn off the main road, which is this road. So I've got to turn down a dirt road, still fields, or I've got to turn it off it anyway.
So there's going to be a road that goes off here.
On my right.
Over to the right.
The dirt road leading to the river is on the right.
He knows the area, but I'd say he probably comes out here for work. The thing is, I'm not going to lose that river. I want to stay on that river because that's where he was found, in that river.
The psychics are approaching the dirt track.
There. I want to go there.
So something like that. That's it there.
Both psychics have found the track along which Jason made his final journey.
The shed, a tin shed, and water. That's what I'm looking for. And there's a tin shed down there, and that's what I'm looking at.
The tin shed is actually the pump shed that Deb picked up on her reading.
I'm thinking pump. Pump, pump, pump. There you are, that's that. The noise I heard. Thank you.
Guided only by the spirit of Jason, both psychics have found the secluded area where he met his death in 2002.
I'll just go over here.
When I was looking at the pump house was actually on my right, so need to sort of head down this way.
I feel quite scared, actually. Really, really fast, like my heart's beating.
This part here is definitely familiar. I feel as though this is where Jason's body was actually found. So he must have been in the water, sort of under the tree area.
I don't want to go deep over there. I want to get it in here.
Back in 2002, there were fewer trees, but Jason's body was found floating in the shallow water right next to the shore. Next, the psychics attempt to uncover a motive for murder as they relive Jason's last moments.
It's got something to do with big money in the depot.
This person's really, really angry.
Psychic Sue Nicholson and Deb Webber are at the river where Jason Dark drowned in 2002.
He's been here before. Like, I feel like he's come down here for some reason.
He knows this area anyway because he's been here before. And that paddock where the potatoes were, I mean, I think he's even walked that, you know, he knows it.
Jason did know the area. He'd visited it for work. The psychics attempt to relive Jason's last moments.
Stop the car, get out and have a cigarette.
You park the car and I see him standing up against the parked car.
I'm getting this pacing sort of energy, frustration.
I'm seeing him wait for somebody to come.
The feathers are all ruffled, I'm feeling ruffled.
I am feeling him in a state.
Just look at the road and see if I can see another car.
Then I'm seeing another person. There's only one person, male, in a car.
I've still got that conflict, the same argument continuing from where I was to this point here.
we got a problem. We've just got to sort it.
There's two people involved with this situation.
The person he was arguing with knows he was coming here.
What are you doing here?
I'm not seeing a person as a park here.
That conflict's followed me here.
You were warned, Jason.
The person I get with him is a really rough character. He's a type of person that Jason wouldn't mix with.
No, look, I'm not having any of this.
I feel him trying to walk away.
I still feel like I want to walk away. That's really powerful with this conflict.
I feel like he's hit him. Hit him in the face.
Mainly the face area. I keep getting it, the face.
They knew Jason was a big person, right? So, you know, something happens, he's going to defend himself. He's going to fight. And I'm seeing a weapon that was on this person.
Cut your fucking wrist.
The intention was, if he didn't do as he said, then I'll use it.
Stab. Cut. Stab.
There is a knife.
Like a sharp instrument. Like a stabbing.
Slit your fucking wrist. You ain't gonna kill me. I'll kill you and your whole fucking family, mate.
It's just too much, and I don't want to hurt my family because I keep reflecting back to not hurting them.
Hurry up.
It's nothing to these people, whether he's alive or dead, basically.
Sharpness, like a stabbing or something in my arm. There's something here, like a slicing of the wrist or something, or a cut.
I feel a sharp, like I've cut my wrist, that's sore.
But something hurting in here, in my hand and my wrist.
There are marks on his wrists. There are marks here, more on one than the other.
The post-mortem revealed that Jason did have cuts to his wrists. There were more on his right wrist.
I'm not going in the water on my own here.
But then falling into the water, he goes in after him. And there's just such anger.
I'm getting pressure on top of my head.
I just see this huge struggle with him trying to get up and out the water. And I keep taking breaths of this water.
Because I've got the water here, but I've got pressure here on my head. So he was found facing the water.
It's like he wanted to make out that, okay, slit the wrists and drown in there.
I don't feel as though Jason just walked in and drowned himself. It's not right.
He did not kill himself. This has been done to take people off a trail.
But off the trail of what? The psychics try to find out.
It's a really, really like triangle of mixture of things, and
I know it's something to do with work. I know that.
There's something to do with work with this person and like that triangle, as I said before, like a triangle. It's really like interwoven and complicated, and
it's got something to do with big money in the depot.
It's a lot of money.
He's Jason. Well, what did he say he was going to do?
It's really like underhanded, and Jason's not like that.
We've just got to sort it.
It's like they wanted something from him.
It's like I've given out too much stuff.
Where is the stuff gone?
He didn't get any money on the side.
I can't do it.
He's saying, I can't do that.
I know what's going on, all right?
And I know I want to get out of everything.
I've had enough, all right?
I keep hearing the words, I've had enough, I've had enough. I'm asking if anyone would benefit from his death.
There's about 5 people involved in it.
The depot, farmers.
With this person, he means business. He's not gonna, it's like, well, you give it to me, or, you know, he doesn't really care.
Jason's not the sort of person that would ask for help. You know, he wouldn't. He'd take it all on himself, which he did, and this was the result of it.
The big thing he wants to say is he didn't kill himself. There is no way he would have done that. He said, my wife and my children, please don't think I would have done this. There is no way I would have killed myself.
Next, a team of investigators follow up the psychic's leads.
The forensic scientist said she could not exclude the possibility of foul play.
Since 2002, Jason Dark's family has been pushing to have his case reinvestigated as a potential homicide.
The police said, well, you come up with some more evidence and we'll have a look at it.
Duncan Holland and his team of investigators are former police detectives who have used conventional methods to research the psychic's leads. Their aim? To produce cold, hard facts.
The psychics were unanimous that there was more to the case than police suspected.
I don't feel as though Jason just walked in and drowned himself.
There's a person involved.
Jason's family are not alone in questioning the police conclusion of suicide. Prominent businessman and fruit-fed shareholder Sir Selwyn Cushing and politician John Banks both contacted the police shortly after Jason died, saying that they had concerns that he was murdered.
Slit your fucking wrists.
Whoever done this to him wanted him to make it look like Jason had actually done it to himself.
My team conducted extensive inquiries with Jason's clients and colleagues who said it was entirely out of character for Jason to commit suicide. Many of them also suspected that Jason was the victim of foul play.
Somebody's pressing me down in the water.
Homicidal drowning is notoriously difficult to detect. Victim trauma and signs of struggle at the scene are not typically visible.
Got pressure here on my head.
Very few cases of homicidal drowning are recorded in New Zealand. However, in the United States, drowning is reported to be the 8th most common form of murder. Even there, studies suggest that up to 20% of homicidal drownings remain undetected and are wrongly declared accidents. For police, one of the most compelling pieces of evidence that Jason acted alone was the one set of footprints.
A set of footprints walking in and nothing out.
Sensing Murder commissioned an independent forensic scientist to review the police photographs of the footprints. She said it was impossible to conclude that there was only one set of footprints. She also said that it was impossible to tell whether the footprints were headed to or from the river. We also consulted a senior police detective and a former police prosecutor. Both said that it was impossible to prove that the prints were even Jason's without a plaster cast.
There's no plaster cast taken. It's a visual ID.
Jason's boots have since been destroyed. The forensic scientists we consulted said the destruction of these exhibits was extremely unfortunate and of great concern because it excludes the possibility of a full and independent review.
Jumping into that way, into the water and pushing him down, but going out another way around.
Sue sensed that the offender took a different path out of the river.
I'm just going around another way, around another part.
The forensic scientist we consulted said that there was no information about whether the surrounding riverbank sections were searched for evidence of another person. Because of this, the forensic scientist said she could not exclude the possibility of foul play.
Something on his face, on a marking.
There's something there about the face anyway, because I see blood.
His eye.
Jason did have an injury to his eye. Police believe that this happened when he fell on a log in the river, but the forensic scientist we consulted thought this was highly unlikely. If the injury occurred in the river, the blood would have washed completely away. But the pathologist found congealed blood in Jason's hair and on his face. This strongly suggests that the injury occurred some time before Jason entered the river and adds weight to the psychic's theory.
I feel like I've been hit.
Oh, someone's hit me in the face.
My team reviewed the police files and discovered significant variances in the quality of the paperwork. The police descriptions of the scene are contradictory, and discrepancies in witness statements appear to have gone unquestioned. We believe that the police investigation and conclusion was heavily influenced by the company's allegations of fraud, allegations that the psychic sensed were unfounded.
Jason doesn't feel that the complaints against him were just deserved.
And he was very fair.
He did the right thing for the company.
The psychics did not believe that Jason had embezzled money.
I don't think he stole anything.
He wasn't dishonest like that.
He didn't get any money on the side.
He hadn't made any money.
Even the company acknowledged that Jason did not seem to have benefited personally, but they still accused him of defrauding Fruitfed by giving his clients huge discounts and free products. The psychics clearly picked up on Jason's work issues and the allegations.
I've given too much or I gave it and freely.
Where is the stuff gone?
We spoke to a close colleague of Jason's who said it was common practice to offer incentives to clients. He said Jason was simply being competitive in the market to get the sales.
The pressure on him was to make targets.
A number of Jason's colleagues were critical of his paperwork skills. One said that the matter was further complicated by the new computer system, which only showed retail prices, whereas the growers rarely paid retail. He said that Jason would have found it hard to calculate the necessary adjustments.
Something about can't be perfect all the time.
Despite Jason's casual approach to bookkeeping, a close colleague pointed out that past audits had not detected the alleged fraud. He thought that it would have been impossible for Jason to have defrauded the company for over $1 million between audits without the company picking it up.
It's got something to do with big money in the depot.
It's a lot of money.
The company ended up claiming that Jason's fraud cost them $2.3 million, but nothing was ever substantiated or proved.
Because everyone seemed to put it on his shoulders.
It's all these lies that have been told.
It's jeopardised his place in the company.
The psychics sensed that Jason may have been a scapegoat. They also sensed that he was about to blow the whistle with information that would get him off the hook.
Jason doesn't want to lose where he is or what he's got, so standing up for his rights.
On the day that he died, Jason was due to attend a disciplinary meeting at head office to respond to the allegations of fraud. He had told the company that he had information that would alter their conclusions. The psychics sensed that Jason did intend to go to this meeting.
He also had to go downtown.
My rep's not able to get there for that time.
Something changed about what time they were going to meet.
The psychics sensed that Jason arranged on the phone to meet someone else first.
I've had a phone call.
Hi, Jace here.
He's talking to someone on the phone.
Unfortunately, the police did not analyse Jason's phone records.
No, we didn't. No.
We have accessed some of Jason's phone records, but privacy constraints mean that we have not been able to identify everyone he spoke to that day. This information is available to police, and we believe it could hold the key to identifying who Jason met with and where he went.
Meeting with this person at the farm.
To do with what he was selling.
The company warned Jason not to meet with any of his 50 grower clients after he was suspended. However, our investigations have revealed that Jason met with at least 2 grower clients on the day that he died and planned to meet with another. There may well have been more.
We've got to sort this out.
Let's sort this out.
I'm not paying for that, Jason.
I don't think he likes paying the gentleman.
A deal of not actually paying.
The psychics sensed that Jason argued with a grower and threatened to bring things out into the open.
I know what's going on, all right? I've had enough, all right?
Keep hearing the words, I've had enough, I've had enough.
Need to come out in the open.
The psychics sensed that threatening to divulge this information could have cost Jason his life.
I'm going to tell him everything.
Jason didn't know what he was getting into.
I'm warning you, Jason.
So he was getting in deeper.
And the consequences that he was going to get mixed up in.
The psychics also sensed that someone at the company was involved in the situation.
We got a problem. Well, what did he say he was going to do?
The place where he works, there's someone there.
Someone or work or something knew that was going on.
We've just got to sort it.
It's like there's a link or a triangle. I'm getting a triangle.
The CEO came to visit Carol and I, and he suggested that maybe there may have been corporate murder.
We spoke to the former CEO of FruitFed. He denied making this comment to the family, but did say that he had never believed Jason committed suicide. He still maintained that Jason had committed fraud and did not believe anyone else from the company was involved. No one currently working for FruitFed would speak to us.
I'm asking if anyone would benefit from his death. The depot, the farmers. But I don't know if that's like insurance.
He did not kill himself. This has been done to take people off a trail.
Like the psychics, my team believes there is more to this than meets the eye. If the psychics are right, the motive for murder may have been to silence Jason. If the police reinvestigated with adequate resources, the truth may emerge. We believe that the death of Jason Dark warrants a deeper investigation.
The big thing he wants to say is he didn't kill himself. There is no way he would have done that.
If you have any information about the death of Jason Dark, please contact Detective Sergeant Michelle Moore at Huntly Police on 07 828 7560. If you have any information about the psychics findings, please log on to tvnz.co.nz and enter the keyword sensing.
Every morning I get up and look at his photograph, and yeah, he's always in my mind.
He had all the makings of such a great person for the rest of his life, and it's just a shame that, it was taken from him so early.
Just so sad. I just miss him every day.
I regret not seeing my children grow up. I can't hold my wife again. I can't hold her hand.
I can't touch her anymore. I can't talk to her. I can't get past that barrier, you know, and that's what he's missing.
I think about him every day. I look at my girls and just see him, and they're just such a big reminder of him. But yeah, it's just awful. It's indescribable, really.